This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted today to be joined with Ohara Davies down at the Edge Gym. First of all, mate, how are you, mate? How was Dubai?
Mate, Dubai was good. It was amazing. I went there for a little holiday and to watch Harley Benn fight. Enjoyed the sun, had a little rest, ate a bit of food, got a little fat. Decided to get my residency out there, so I'm getting residency in Dubai and I will be moving there in the near future. Obviously, I'm still here for camp. I've got my coaching that base here, but I think I want to make Dubai a second home for myself.
I saw on your stories you were saying you were sort of ready for some rain with the hot weather. Is it sort of like when you look at the sort of Dubai, is that the weather and everything that sort of entices you there, although it can be hot at times?
It's not more the weather, it's about the vibe and the way that I feel and the people and the energy that's there. The energy there is so positive, whereas I feel like the energy in England is not positive as much. The weather's good. It was a bit too hot, but I prefer too hot than too cold. And you know, it's a great lifestyle there, so I'm looking forward to going there.
Definitely. Well, we've got to talk about what happened on the weekend. You know, aside from Dubai, we saw Ismael Barroso and Rolando Romero fight out for the vacant WBA super lightweight world title. First of all, we've just got to touch on the big elephant in the room is the stoppage. When you saw it, your initial thoughts?
That robbery is the worst I've seen in the entire time that I've been involved in boxing. And I've been involved in boxing a hell of a long time now. I've seen fighters get robbed. I've seen it happen every now and again, but I've never seen it on that scale and on a platform that big. It usually happens on the small shows where there's no eyes really there, no one really knows or cares. This happened on a massive stage, on a world title fight, everyone watching it, and he just blatantly robbed him. The guy was up on all three scorecards. Ismael Barroso wasn't hurt. He was up on points. He got a knockdown. He was doing what he was meant to do, taking care of business, and they just robbed him. You know, if I was Ismael Barroso with his team, I wouldn't be happy because they've robbed him of a future. This guy's got kids back home, and you know, the guy had a whole camp. He had a whole camp, and I don't know what he had to go through and what he had to sacrifice for that camp. Time away from his wife and kids, training, the blood, sweat, and tears. And he done everything right in the fight, in his preparation. For it to be taken away from him like that, I feel like it's very unfair.
I was going to say, because the stoppage is bad enough as it is, when you look at it, the fact that he was up on all scorecards and the fact that he dropped Rolly as well, you look at it and you understand that, I don't know what the ref sees, if you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know what he sees.
You know what, it's all corruption. I don't care what anyone says, it's all corruption. It's all corruption, you know, they wanted their man to win and they done what they had to do. And I feel like it's unfair. If they told Ismael Barroso, you know what, don't have a training camp, don't have a camp, just run, make weight and that's it, because you're going to get robbed. Like, they might as well have just gone to him before the fight got announced and said to him, mate, don't bother, just come there, get your paycheck and go home because you're going to get robbed. But they made him have a whole camp, believe that he's got a chance of getting a win. He was never going to win the fight. Even if he knocked out Rolly, they would have got him up, mate, that count would have been fucking 2-minute count, get him up, let him throw one shot and then stop the fight. That's what they would have done. It don't matter what Ismael Barroso done, he was never ever going to win that fight. And it's bad to, you know, it's bad.
Yeah, you know, what did you sort of, I know he was down on all cards, but what did you make of Rolly's performance looking at that as your next opponent?
To be honest, I didn't even see the fight. I saw how it ended and I was like, mate, this guy's going to be easy work. I saw him get knocked down in round 3 and I saw the way that the fight ended. I said, this guy's going to be easy work. So maybe once the fight gets announced, Rolando versus Ohara Davies, then I'll start to watch him, blah, blah, blah. But to be honest, I didn't see the fight. I was in Dubai having a hell of a good time.
Is there sort of any worries that they could force a rematch that could then get you shafted for the WBA shot again?
You know, there could be a rematch clause. This is what I'm concerned about. Ismael Barroso deserves the rematch, yes, I don't disagree with that. But mate, it's my time now, so I don't give a fuck about no rematch. It's my time. You know, the WBA, they wrote to us and they said, you know what, these two are going to fight and the winner has to face me. They didn't write, if someone gets robbed, it's going to go to a rematch. No, they didn't write that. So I feel like they need to abide by what they wrote and, you know, they got to do the right thing.
Would it be even more frustrating to look at where, to be honest, if you think about it anyway, you probably should have been fighting for the belt anyway, for them to sort of take that away from you again, would it just further increase your frustration with the WBA?
Yeah, I should have been fighting for the belt anyway, you know. Rolando, he was a voluntary challenger, he wasn't a mandatory, so why he got the fight for the vacant belt, I don't understand. But, you know, I never complained about it. I said, you know what, it's fine. I'll take any of them anyway, because I'm so confident in my own skills. You know, but if they enforce that rematch, I'm going to be very unhappy and I need to be compensated of some sort.
Would you, I was going to say, would you be willing to sort of take step aside money if that was if that option? Because I saw you tweet saying that you sort of wasn't something that you're interested in.
I would take step aside money if they want to make the rematch against Ismael Barroso, because that's a fight that I truly believe that the guy deserves. If they try to change it and make Rolly fight against someone else, nah, mate. You ain't fighting no Ryan Garcia, you ain't fighting nobody. I'm next in line. I won't be taking any step-aside money unless it's against Ismael Barroso.
What did you make of Rolly's comments where he said Ryan Garcia's next, and he said something about, you know, nobody knows who Ohara Davies is? What did you sort of make of them comments?
Mate, he's only saying that. He knows what I've done to him in sparring. Obviously, Ryan Garcia is a bigger name than me at this moment, so he'd rather get the biggest paycheck, fight the biggest name that he can right now. Whether he fights me or whether he fights Ryan Garcia next, he is going to get spanked. So he would just rather get spanked by Ryan Garcia than he would against Ohara Davies, which I can understand. But then again, the WBA have got to abide by their rankings and by what they wrote. So the Ryan Garcia fight won't be happening next.
That's for sure. Are you sort of worried by potential public pressure from, you know, in America where people are saying, oh, this rematch has got to happen, Barroso got robbed? Are you worried about the public pressures that could potentially snub you?
I'm not worried about that because I know what they wrote, and what they wrote they need to abide by. You know, I've got no worries. You know, if they don't abide by that, I need to be compensated. I need to be compensated of some sort. And when I say of some sort, I'm talking financially. So either way, I'll be good.
And when you look at it now, sort of just as we close this off, you think about sort of, you said a lot about the mistakes you made in your career, learning from your mistakes, and having everything the hard way. Now you've finally got what you wanted. You finally got that world title shot, and to take that with both hands, for a feeling for you must be incredible.
It is incredible. You know, to be honest, I've always expected to get here. I've always expected to be a world champion. I thought it would have happened a lot earlier than it has happened, but I've made a hell of a lot of mistakes in my boxing career, whereas my focus wasn't always as it should have been. But better late than never, hey? And I'm finally there.
Absolutely. Well, Ohara Davies, I'm sure you're going to get ready for Rolly now in this session, but thank you for your time, mate. I really appreciate it. Top man.